Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the CoAnalyst podcast series. Today, we're going to be discussing how CoAnalyst can enhance open source intelligence, or OSINT, as I like to call it, and I'm sure many of you also call it OSINT. The OSINT investigations, how CoAnalyst can help. So I'm your host, Allison Sullivan from Penlink, and join me today is my fellow host, Christine Talley. How are you today, Christine?
I am doing very well, Allison. Thank you so much. And you know that I have been so looking forward to today because I am a total nerd about OSINT. And so I'm excited to talk today about how CoAnalyst is just revolutionizing this field for us. So you know that my soapbox is how important it is to add OSINT to our toolbox of modern investigations. So why don't you start for us and start talking about defining OSINT and its significance for us in modern investigations?
Thank you for that, because you are very well known in the OSINT field, and I know this is your soapbox, and it's one that I think we both share a passion for. And, really simply put, OSINT, open source intelligence, it involves collecting, analyzing publicly available information, and a lot of people use this publicly available information to either support or even initiate investigations in some instances. This will include data from news locations, news and media outlets, academic publications, government reports, online forums, and other open sources. OSINT is crucial because it provides a wealth of information that can be used to uncover insights. It can be used to verify things or verify claims, verify reports, and it can also identify potential threats or trends.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges with OSINT is just the sheer volume of data that's available. And we've been talking a lot about sheer volume of data when we talk about our investigations. So investigators need tools that can sift through this massive amount of information quickly and accurately. So this is where CoAnalyst comes in. Its advanced AI capabilities are designed to streamline the OSINT process, making the investigator more efficient and more effective.
Absolutely. One of the key features of CoAnalyst in OSINT investigations is the ability to perform semantic searches. So we've talked about this before, but the traditional keyword searches can often miss relevant information due to the nuances of the language. So it might miss certain words within a string of other words. So semantic search, on the other hand, it helps to understand the context and the meaning behind the terms that are being searched, and therefore providing more accurate and comprehensive results.
Yeah, and we've talked about semantic search in some of our other episodes, and this is definitely, I think, one of my favorite features of incorporating AI into open source intelligence. So for an example, if an investigator is looking for discussions about a specific event in various news articles, they can use their natural language queries to ask about it. So CoAnalyst is going to understand the context of what we're looking for, retrieve the relevant information, even if we aren't using those exact keywords. So this is going to ensure that critical information, none of it is going to be overlooked.
Yeah. So another powerful feature of CoAnalyst is the ability to analyze and summarize large volumes of text, large data sets. So it includes documents, reports, any other type of written material. CoAnalyst, it automatically scans and analyzes this text. It identifies key points, themes, relevant information. It helps investigators then quickly get a grasp of the material or the data or the information without having to read through every single piece manually.
Yeah, text analysis and summarization are crucial for making sense of these large data sets. So by identifying these key themes and then summarizing that content, CoAnalyst can then provide the insights into the most important aspect of the information. So I actually used this feature very recently in an investigation where the subject had written numerous multi-page emails that spanned 10 years. So we're talking a lot of data that would have taken me hours to read and then analyze and then report on. And this was somewhat of an exigent case. So I asked CoAnalyst to analyze the content of these lengthy emails and numerous emails and identify the subject's themes and motivations and even their potential threat level. So I could then help provide this initial actionable intelligence in, again, what was really a relatively exigent situation. So aside from that, the text analysis and the summarization are especially going to be useful for verifying facts and identifying trends in these large bodies of text.
That's a lot. Over 10
Yeah.
years, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was.
So
It was.
let me take it the next step. Imagine if there were images within those emails over the course of 10 years. Well, did you know that CoAnalyst also can include visual data analysis? So that includes images and videos from open sources, or even here with your example of using all of those emails. And CoAnalyst will then use AI algorithms and identify the objects, identify faces, identify themes within the images. It'll then link them to relevant information within the investigation. So think about this capability really being particularly useful for verifying visual evidence or identifying locations. It's a huge, huge help and time saver.
Yeah, that visual data analysis is definitely going to add another layer of depth to our OSINT investigation. So, an investigator might come across a photo in a news article. CoAnalyst can analyze that photo, identify the key elements within it, and then actually cross-reference them with other data points. So this can help confirm the location of an event or the identity of individuals that are involved.
Yeah. So another important aspect of OSINT is the ability to perform link analysis. And CoAnalyst can then map out those connections between individuals, organizations, events, anything based on the data that is collected. And that then will help the investigator understand the relationships between those entities and then uncover networks that that may not be immediately apparent to the eye.
Yeah, I mean, link analysis. So I mentioned in our last episode how much of a visual person I am, and you said you are too, So I used to manually create these link charts, and I told you I printed them out huge, and I'd hang them around the office. So I could always see how one thing, one person connected to another. So when we're looking at these large amounts of disparate data, it can be really hard to uncover these hidden connections just by looking at them. So by visualizing these relationships, CoAnalyst allows the investigators to see the bigger picture. You can see the trees and the forest at the same time, right? So it's particularly useful in cases involving complex networks where understanding the web of relationships is going to be key to identifying those key players and their roles.
Absolutely. And, having the ability to do that in real time is what is really vital. So CoAnalyst will take that data and continually scan it. And when it becomes available, new information so that we're keeping our finger on the pulse, it will then summarize the updated information. So this is going to really be useful for those real-time ongoing events or monitoring developments throughout a scenario that's going on in someone's town or what have you, but being able to really keep updated and keep apprised of what's going on is where CoAnalyst will also step in.
Right. And, if we want to stay ahead of potential threats, that's exactly where the real-time monitoring comes in. So by providing that up-to-the-minute information, the tool is going to allow investigators to respond quickly to these new developments as they're coming in. So we can be proactive and potentially help prevent incidents before they even occur.
Absolutely. And, think about, different languages being used. You have an event, a rally, whether it be planned or a pop-up protest. There's multiple language that are not only being spoken, but also being shared online. So CoAnalyst has that ability to handle those multilingual data sets. So obviously in an increasingly globalized world, investigations involve multiple languages and different languages. It can analyze and translate that data from various languages and ensure that no information is lost due to these language barriers.
Yeah, the multilingual capabilities are absolutely a have to have in comprehensive OSINT investigations. It is just certainly not something that you can ignore. So whether it's an investigation in your own backyard or you're tracking international developments or you're analyzing foreign reports, CoAnalyst ensures that investigators have access to all relevant information regardless of the language.
Absolutely. And, we have to remind everyone and remind ourselves here that CoAnalyst offers a range of dynamic visualization tools. We talked about this earlier, but we just can't say it enough. Tools such as maps, timelines, network graphs, the ability to be able to see these patterns and not have to dig deep to find them and be able to see these trends that may not be apparent from the raw data. CoAnalyst really excels in this portion.
Yeah. The data visualization helps us make sense of complex information. It's really, to me, the whole point of it, right? So a map visualization can show the geographic distribution of relevant events or activities. A timeline can illustrate the sequence of those events. The network graphs then reveal the relationships between the individuals and the organization. So, again, these visualizations just make it easier for investigators to understand and interpret this data that we're dealing with.
I have to say the network graphs are always my favorite.
Yes.
I'm a very who's who and who knows who, and having CoAnalyst be able to bring that to the forefront for me is just a game changer.
Yeah.
Some other things, some other categorization capabilities that CoAnalyst has, it really does play a crucial role in OSINT investigations. It can automatically categorize data and predefine topics. So maybe we want to put topics for security threats, economic activities, geopolitical movements.
Yeah.
Having that capability from CoAnalyst, it really helps investigators find that relevant information really, really quickly, like we talked about, and then take that energy and just focus on the most critical aspects related to their investigation.
Yeah, the categorization is going to streamline that investigative process. So instead of us manually having to sort through all the data, especially when we're talking exigent cases, investigators can rely on CoAnalyst to organize it, saving the time, leaving no details behind. So I think we may have our theme for this episode, Alan.
Absolutely. I think we did. We uncovered it. And CoAnalyst also provides risk assessment features. We get a lot of people talking to us about that. It's really important to them for their investigations. It can evaluate the potential risk associated with specific events, organizations, even regions based on various factors. And this, again, helps investigators, researchers, analysts prioritize their efforts and, again, focus on the most pressing threat.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, that is an incredible tool for managing resources, right? So it's going to allow investigators, command staff to allocate their efforts more effectively by identifying those high-risk areas or entities. Again, increasing efficiency and effectiveness in the investigation.
Yeah. And then, of course, the ability to generate comprehensive reports. You mentioned command staff. They love comprehensive reports. They love reports in general because they don't have the time to get their hands in the mix of all this data. And, analysts like ourselves and others are really responsible for creating these reports for them. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, but having the help of CoAnalyst to be able to do that, it can include the findings, the visualizations, the analyses that have been conducted. And it just makes this so much easier to present the results of an investigation or research project to our stakeholders, to our command staff members, and even decision makers.
Right. Yeah, the report generation is essential for communicating our findings, right? I mean, it's part of the whole cycle of intel. So, I don't know about anyone else, but I always ended up spending more time actually writing the report, I think, than I did on the actual investigation sometimes, So CoAnalyst reports are clear, they're concise, they're comprehensive, make it easier for us to give our decision makers actionable intelligence that's going to help them understand the key points and then take that action that's necessary. So these insights gained from the investigation can then be used effectively.
Right. And, coming from both of us, our prior lives in law enforcement, we know the importance of integration with other tools. There's a CAD system, RMS system, an Intel database. There's just so many other tools that are out there. And the great part about CoAnalyst is that it's designed to seamlessly integrate with any existing tools and databases. Obviously, data will not get lost from one system to the next with that incorporation, and it can easily just include CoAnalyst into the workflow without any disruption.
Yeah. I mean, I think that one of the biggest pain points for a lot of agencies is that while they have access to a lot of different and very incredible tools and systems, they don't talk to each other, right? So it's very difficult. Everything is always piecemeal. It's like having to go to 10 different grocery stores to get what you need to make dinner, right? So the integration that CoAnalyst offers enhances the overall efficiency of the process. It's going to work seamlessly with other tools and systems and then ensure that investigators have access to all of those ingredients, all of the information that they need in one place. It streamlines the workflow and reduces the risk of missing critical information.
Absolutely. Could you imagine going to 10 different grocery stores to make dinner? That's crazy. Yeah,
I've gone to one.
absolutely. So yeah, Christine, let's just start to wrap this up here. CoAnalyst capabilities, they have the great ability to enhance OSINT investigations, and it's truly transformative. CoAnalyst will leverage advanced AI and NLP techniques and quickly and accurately process a ton of data. It'll identify patterns, anomalies, and even present findings in a clear and actionable format. Makes it for an invaluable tool for investigations, and I really wish I had it when I was still with law enforcement as an analyst.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are excited about its potential. It's going to continue to evolve and continue to meet the needs of analysts and investigators. So I'm going to be back with you next time in our next episode. We're going to explore how CoAnalyst mobile forensics capabilities work in detail. So just thank you everybody for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining me, Christine. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more insights into CoAnalyst and our digital investigation platforms. Till next time, everyone, take care, see you soon, and stay safe.